What up, everyone? We've got Geek Me Box here. So let's take a look at what we got in this box. Let's rate this bitch. So, first off, no surprise, we got a t-shirt, but I was actually blown away by this t-shirt. Now, you'll notice it's the from the show Arrow, the DC show on CW, I think it is. I don't know. But it's from the show Arrow. Now, that's not what blew me away. It wasn't the design or anything like that, but you'll notice it's not a crossover. Now, this is like mind-boggling to me because Geek Me Box is all about the crossovers. They've always been about it. Like every shirt they've ever had, this is the first time they've not done a crossover, which is incredible. Like, I'm so blown away by that. But maybe they've finally like broken the mold and started paying for licensing. I don't know. Like, I have no explanation for it, but I was totally shocked not to see a crossover because they're known for that and they really push them too much. Like lately their crossovers have been not so great because they've been forcing it too much. So it's really nice to see a non-crossover shirt. And it's still the Toltex brand, so it's still the good quality shirt. So that's pretty awesome. That's pretty amazing. I'm so shocked by that. I don't know what else to say. I'm so curious, like, what happened there and how they came to this. Like, but I don't know if I'll ever know. But anyway, I like the design on this. It's a very cool design from the show. I personally haven't checked it out. I've never been a big fan of the comic books into TV shows for many reasons. I feel like those shows are just like too drawn out. Like not in particular with this show. It's just they drag things out too long. It's just like it goes on because they have to keep making episodes to make money. It's like with a movie, like you watch it for 2 or 3 hours and then you're done with it. But with a TV show, it's like a big commitment to it. You got to watch it at least a half hour to an hour every week for years. Like, that's such a huge commitment to commit to something that you're going to watch that. That's like getting married to someone before you know them. It's like an arranged marriage. It's just too big of a commitment for me personally, so I've never really checked out any of the comic book TV shows personally. I've just never been a fan. But I'm rambling too much about my personal life and you guys don't care. The point is, even if I've never seen the show and don't like it, it still is a cool design. That's the point I was coming to. So, I was excited to see this, and I'm so excited not to see a crossover, because I think we're all so sick of crossovers. Crossovers are everywhere. Like I've said a million times, they do that to undermine copyright law to save money. And we're just tired of them because most companies suck at it. They do weird crossovers of characters that don't belong together and mash them together, and it just looks awkward. So, this is great. I'm so surprised that they didn't do a crossover, and it's nice. They kept it simple, just this like monochromatic, one color, green and black, Toltex, nice fitted, like kept it simple. That's cool. Like, good choice. They should have done that all along. I hope they do more of that in the future and no more crossovers. That's what I would like to see. Next. So this is an item we've seen a lot recently. The Stick of Truth. The South Park figures. I got Cartman again. Now, I don't know what's going on with Kid Robot or whatever. Like, they must have had a blowout sale or something, because this is the third time in a month's period that these have shown up. Now, I'm sure they had some kind of discount sale, and if boxes are going to take advantage of that, they kind of need to be the first one. Arcade Block did it, and then, what was the other one? I think Super Geek Box did it, and now this one did it. So, if you're one of the last boxes of the month, now you just seem like a copycat, and you need to be aware of what the other boxes are doing. Since they all did it so close to each other, there wasn't much way of knowing the other boxes were going to do it, but it's just kind of a bummer to see this the third time in a month, and it was also a character I've already gotten, so normally I would say this isn't a big deal because they're different characters, but when it's the third time, it's like, well, so I don't know if I'm blaming this box. I don't think it's their fault, but either way it's a bummer because some people have gotten this for the third time now. But luckily, if you don't subscribe to other boxes, you haven't gotten a duplicate. And for those people, it is still a good item. I still do like these figures. Kid Robot's a good company. They never disappoint. They put out good quality. So this is a good quality figure. So hopefully you didn't get a duplicate like me, and hopefully you can enjoy this figure. So, but either way, it was still a good choice, though. It is a good figure. Next, we got a Pop figure. Now, again, this is a more common one. We got Mumm-Ra from Thundercats. This is a cool pop figure. Nothing wrong with it. It was a cool character, but it is just a pop figure. They're too common these days. They're very generic, but there's nothing wrong with it. It's still a good character. It's still a good figure. So we got a pop figure. Next, we got some little candy, some Zots, little tiny pieces of candy. No biggie. Kind of curious what they taste like though. What flavor is this? Blue raspberry. Let's try it out. I don't think I've ever tried Zots. Smells good. Tastes pretty good. I like it. Some Zots. Delicious. That works for me. Now the last item. I had talked about an exclusive Wolverine item in a box before. I was talking about Geek Me Box and not Geek Field. Now I thought it was an exclusive Wolverine item. Apparently I was mistaken. I must have misheard wrong. We do get a Wolverine item, but it is not exclusive, unfortunately. It doesn't make it bad. It's still a good item, but it wasn't exclusive. I must have misunderstood at some point. They advertised on the site about a Wolverine item. Not exclusive though. But this is the world according to Wolverine. And it's just like a story told from Wolverine's perspective, basically. And the cool thing about it is, I've seen books do that. This has little inserts. There's like postcards and pictures in here that you can actually remove from the book. You can see like there's all kinds of stuff that sticks out. This is like what they might call like an interactive book, because things are imprinted in there. There's actually like pictures you can take out. And it's basically the story of Wolverine, but it just has cool stuff like that. Actual printed stuff like that. So it makes it a very interesting book. And the cool thing I like about it is it's hardcover, which is nice. It's good to display. I like having hardcover books. And they put the cardboard in there to make sure the quality was good. So I really appreciate that. And it's a very cool book. So that was all the items. So let's go back through these items and talk about some value. Alright, time for some value. So the shirt. This will get the standard $12 to $15 range, but I really like this shirt. Toltex is a good brand. They're fitted, they're good quality. Wasn't a crossover. I very much appreciated this shirt. I just want to point that out. That was great. So, then we got our South Park figure. So hopefully many people didn't get duplicates, but if you're like me, you subscribe to the good boxes like Super Geek Box and Arcade Blocks. They're very popular boxes, so there is a chance you did get duplicates. Hopefully not, though. Regardless of that, this figure runs right around $10. Depending on where you buy it. If you went to a comic shop, they might charge like $12, but you can buy them online for right around $10. So I'm going to put it at $10. A general $10. Then the pop figure. These are $10 as well. I don't think there's anything rare about this. It's not exclusive. It's just a Thundercats pop figure. $10 as well. Our little pieces of candy. We only got 2 of them. Like 50 cents at best. Like maybe only a quarter. Pretty much no value though. Then we got our book. Now this is a very nice book. It's hardcover, it's printed well, and it has all the inserts and stuff like that, which brings up the value because it's now an interactive book because you have things you can pull out and look at and turn over that come separate from the book. The MSRP on this book is $25. Now, here's the thing I always say about books. The MSRP is like, it's hard to say that's the real value. It is the value because that's what they charge for it, but the resale market on books is crazy because the thing about books is I could read this book, put the cardboard back in there, and sell it as new. No one would have any way of knowing that I've read this book. Then the next person buys it for half the price I bought it at, reads the same thing, puts the cardboard back in there, and sells it as new. So there's just a very high resale market for these because books don't come sealed. They're not like action figures or anything. So 1 million people can read it and it deteriorates in value at a very slow rate. So you can always resell it as new. So there's a very high resale market for this. So even if I paid $25 for it, I could read it and then flip it and sell it for half the price and not care about it because I've already gotten what I need out of it. So if you go on eBay or even Barnes & Noble and stuff like that, they resell books for next to nothing. So that being said, it still is worth $25 because that is the value. But if you were to buy this somewhere else, I could see it going for like $15. So I'm going to put a range of 15 to 25 on there to kind of compensate for that. So again, full market price is 25. You can't really argue with that, but it would be extremely easy to find it for like $10 cheaper, maybe even less if someone is personally selling it. So take that into consideration. That's always the problem with books, though. That's something that everyone has to deal with. There's really no way around that. So, that being said, that puts the value on the low end at 47 and on the high end about 60. So that kind of depends on where you value that book. If you were going to buy it yourself or if you value it at that price. That's kind of a more of a personal opinion on how you would value that. But, so basically right around 50 or 60. So you actually got a good value. This box, this was much better than their regular box. They were good for a while, and then last month was not so great, and I think the month before was not so great either, but this one was much better. You didn't get a crossover, which was good. You didn't get a bad crossover, which is fantastic. You got a nice shirt of good quality. That was fitted. You got some nice figures, and you got a really nice book. So everything in here was like good stuff. You didn't get a lot of items, but you got good quality stuff. Seems like they stepped up the quality, so hopefully this is a sign of things to come. That being said, I'm not sure if I'm going to keep this box around too much longer. I just think it's had a good run either way, but we'll see. Like, they seem like they're stepping up the quality again. Hopefully they keep going at this rate. So taking all that into consideration, I'm going to give this box a 7 out of 10. Because you got some good stuff, and you got some good quality stuff. You got decent value. You got almost double, pretty close to double what you paid. You paid 30 and you got somewhere between 50 and 60. Even on the low end of 50, that's still pretty good. That's a pretty good turnaround for what you paid for it. And the t-shirt was good quality. The pop and the South Park figure are common, so nothing super special. But the book was cool and interesting, and I did like that. So I think 7 out of 10 is a good rating. I think they did a good job. Again, nothing fantastic. They didn't blow minds or anything like that. But it was definitely a step up from last month, a big step up. And they increased the value, and they did better at it. So I hope they keep going in this upward pace. I look forward to the future with them. So we'll see. But let me know what you guys thought about it. So this has been Geek Me Box, 7 out of 10. Thank you for watching. Love you all. Peace.